2023 was an amazing year for anime. Long-awaited sequels, end of eras, some crazy trash, and new classics in the making. We got a great new Ghibli film in The Boy and the Heron, Suzume released outside Japan, and a bunch of series now doing film releases. And seems it's gonna happen even more this year. And today, focusing on the series, I'm gonna count down my favorites of the year. This was a really tough list to make, since almost every genre had at least one heavy hitter that I loved. So please consider hitting that glowing subscribe button if you enjoyed the video, and a little like and all that really helps the channel. Oh, and if you don't see a show you liked, please remember this is only my opinion, but I'd love to hear your favorites below. Anyway, let's get right to it. Even choosing number 20 was tough, which you can tell from my honorable mentions. But I've been having a blast watching Shangri-La Frontier. It's so refreshing to watch a video game anime, and it not being an isekai or an SAO ripoff. Really fun cast, actually likable and charismatic main guy, insanely well done action and fights, all in a very detailed game world that makes me want to play. The rules and mechanics are well explored and well thought out. Even the NPCs are charming, and it's pretty funny too. I always look forward to the minis at the end. A great watch so far, hope it keeps doing what it's doing. Try to focus more on new stuff, but I can't deny that I love these three. Dr. Stone's New World arc had me waiting each week for the next twist. It's pretty crazy how well it's balanced all these great characters and give us more hype. One of my favorite adaptations. Spy Family continued to deliver with the quirky, lovable cast, a lot of focus on Yor this time around, as well as expanding on the side characters, which is one of the key reasons I love the show. Plus it kept giving us great moments with Anya, Lloyd, and even Bond. Can't wait for the movie to release here. And Mushoku Tensei came back, and really got to advance his character, find new and old relationships, and had trouble with his... Yeah, this season focuses a bit much on Rudy's problem and some questionable stuff, but it still manages to captivate with the gorgeous locations, detailed lore, and massive reveals out of nowhere. Very excited for what's to come. Probably the biggest surprise of the year for me. Pegged it as a simple racing anime with some really good characters, designs, and animation, but it just kept flooring me. The story of this photographer struggling to keep doing his passion after one of Japan's saddest tragedies was so well explored, and it culminates in one of the most emotional episodes of the year, even more so now. And the plot about the underdog team, the rivals, the slice of life aspect, it all works so well. Might not have Eurobeat, but the heart and soul is here. Underappreciated gem that I definitely recommend. Both Undead shows we got were pretty great. On my fall video, I said that Undead Unluck was a little crazy in those first episodes, but that was just the tip of the iceberg. Unique powers that lead to super creative fights and scenarios, a great big cast of characters, and easily some of the best world building in a while. The crazy missions, the rules, the different groups, the locations, it works really well, and it's pretty easy to love this duo. It's the wackiness and ecchi of Kill la Kill with a touch of Fire Force. Not easy to explain it, but I'm hooked. And Undead Murder Farce was such a good time. You win me over with crime solving, but it uses the supernatural aspect to the fullest, while also mixing stuff from other sources. We get vampires and werewolves, but then we get an arc in England with freaking Sherlock Holmes. It's crazy storytelling that somehow works in getting you wondering what the heck is gonna happen next. And while the sidecast is great, the main trio is perfect. The interactions between the goofy but capable duo of Ai and Sugaru, and of course Shizuku the Badass Maid, were so fun. Good mysteries, great action, and a whole lot of twists. I need them to do a season 2. Hell's Paradise immediately grabbed me with the intro of Gamimaru being unable to be executed, then teaming up with Sagiri to go into this twisted island for the elixir of life. The chaos of all these bloodthirsty killers and samurai going against whatever crazy thing happens next was so hype. Great fights, a lot of interesting characters that shined, even with the smallest of screen time, cool powers, and beautiful visuals and effects. It loses a few points because the second half does get a little muddy and exposition heavy, but I'm beyond excited for what's next. I'm always down for a good romance. And apart from other highlights, I really like these two. Insomniacs After School puts together two students who are having trouble falling asleep at night, and thus have trouble during daytime. The way they connect because of this, and slowly help each other overcome it, plus other social issues, is so organic and heartwarming. And I adore the way too relatable Nakami, and the absolutely must protect Magari. Their chemistry and dialogue go together beautifully with some of the best looking backgrounds of the year, and some very emotional moments too. The theme is a bit of Call of the night, but with a lot of July and April vibes. Sidecast could be a little better, but the pair carry the show. A very wholesome slice-of-life romance. And my love story with Yamada-kun is a rom-com aimed more towards the shoujo demographic. But I adore this show, giving us one of the most relatable anime girls in Akane. Clumsy, childish, brutally honest, drunk, but also very charming, funny, cute, and endearing as heck. Not portrayed as a perfect angel, but as someone with an actual personality, which I couldn't get enough of. Pair her with the cool, quiet gamer, who also has his own demons. And it was a great match. I might be simping for Akane, but with the likable cast, the nice and goofy visuals, great joke delivery, the well-explored video game aspect, and the good character build-up and interactions, you had me cheering every week. A great rom-com that I really vibed with. While Apothecary Diaries is still ongoing, I've been really impressed with what they've done. As a story partly based on Imperial China, I wasn't expecting this show to have such an interesting premise with these really likable characters. Mao Mao joins the growing list of great protags we got this year, being super capable and smart, while being this excitable poison geek. And the supporting characters really flesh out this royal palace scenario, giving us a lot of tense drama, emotion, and even fun moments. Beautiful visuals with refreshingly bright colors and amazing designs and locations. It's switching to funny gags from time to time makes it more endearing. And the mystery vibe, relationships, the build-up, and the foreshadowing makes for some really good storytelling. I can't wait to see what's next. Yeah, technically a donghua, but just like last year, it counts. And man, that was a great season 2. The concept of link click itself is just awesome. Traveling through photos to specific points in time and trying to solve a mystery without screwing the future. And season 2 did not miss a beat. No spoilers, but they had to change the approach to the plot and the characters, being more focused on the main story, less side quests. But it still was very gripping and exciting. Good cast, crazy scenarios, and surprisingly some of the best action choreography I've seen, plus one of the best openings of the year. Again, you gotta see this show. Pluto stuck out with its dark adaptation of the Astro Boy series, made by the creator of Monster, and it has its DNA all over the place. Superb character designs, a killer soundtrack, very good visuals, and a mystery that immediately has you in its grasp by the first scenes, even if, like me, you're not a knower of the source material. And some very timely looks at the advancements of robots, AI, war, and so on. Pretty telling that even if this show consisted of 8-hour-long episodes, I couldn't stop binging. The intense mystery was so good that even when we got scenes without the spectacular dialogue and decent action, there was always a message, surprising emotion, and tension you could cut with a knife. Some minor issues that stop it from going higher, but it's a fantastic watch. A tremendous year for the mystery genre, and Pluto one of its best. Fresh off the heels of Spy Family, I didn't expect Buddy Daddies to hold up as much, but in its own way of doing the dangerous duo adopts a child scenario, they came through. Two pro assassins having to take care of one of the cutest and more realistic takes on a little girl, Miri, is a fantastic comedy setup, especially considering how well these three play off each other. And slowly, we get more info on their backstory, and I grew attached. Just like both Kazuki and Rei get attached to Miri, in their own quirky and loving way. And then we got some good action, drama, and emotional build-up, presented with a simple but charming visual style and great voice acting. Episode by episode just made this trio more fun to watch, and made this strange meeting of fates more and more believable. And I'm a big fan of how it wrapped up, so yeah, great overall. And another PA Works gem. PA wasn't finished cooking and gave us this slice of life masterpiece just one season later. Skip and Loafer gave me life with each episode. Mitsumi is such a treasure of a character. She's smart, ambitious, pure, and nice, but also very awkward and honest. Seeing this country bumpkin move into Tokyo and try to reach her goals and make friends in this new environment is so simple, but it works so damn well. Sosuke is this lovable golden retriever type who is so chill, but hides some drama. And he pairs up perfectly with her, but as really good friends. Sidecast is amazing and well explored, kinda like Horimiya. Good scenarios, interesting developments, and so much charm. Visuals and colors are perfect, and every episode had a gag or reaction that cracked me up. It's wholesome as heck and such a cozy time. As someone who loves this genre, I think it's peak slice of life. And I'm gonna riot if we don't get a season 2, so yeah, check it out. The anime that took over the first half of the year. I never expected to get so engrossed and emotional over an idol show. but here we are. Oshinoko's prequel special was an interesting approach to introduce the show, but it was a big hit, introducing the great story of these idol fans reincarnating, and what happened next. Not a single dry eye after. And in my opinion, the show never stopped delivering. Aqua being this mastermind determined to get revenge, Ruby fighting for her dream, Akane's sudden introduction and heavy arc, and Kana simply being best girl. Just an amazing cast of characters trying to advance in this cruel entertainment industry. A raw look not just at idols, but movie production, reality TV, online harassment, YouTube, and more. And just what you'd expect from the creator of Kaguya-sama, all with hilarious gags and jokes. Top it off with some gorgeous designs, colors, visuals, and soundtrack that elevated the season's numerous big moments. Even the opening and ending were awesome. I was as hyped as an idol stan from start to finish. I'm just ready for more. Yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen was freaking awesome. The prequel mini-arc was so cool. Seeing young Geto and Gojo, new characters, foreshadowing, and the visual style for it was great. Totally immersed in only 5 episodes. And then we went directly to pain with the Shibuya arc. That was a roller coaster that did not stop. Characters popping out of nowhere, twist after twist, fight after fight, amazement, relief, shock, heartbreak, and it never slowed down. Seriously, the use of the powers, the fights going from a small room to the entirety of the district was crazy. Creativity and pure anime goodness. One of the best string of episodes in a shonen series ever. So, why number 4? Well, apart from these 6 shows being almost a toss-up for who was my first place, I did feel guilty in giving a show with such flawed production schedule and crunch time a higher place. It's something that sadly just doesn't disappear from this industry. But regardless of that, these animators still were able to give out something spectacular. Massive respect to them. Just imagine the magic they'd make if they were treated more fairly. But negativity aside, Jujutsu really did shine, even with people outside the anime spectrum. You can tell just from everyone and their mom spoiling everything. One of the biggest shows right now, and for damn good reason. Anime as a medium is not afraid to bring some of the weirdest and most screwed up stories out there. Made in Abyss, Summertime Render, The Only Season Promised Neverland. I adore the way these shows take you full force and engulf you in their strange worlds and circumstances. And Heavenly Delusion definitely joins them. Production IG nails the crazy post-apocalyptic scenario while keeping what makes this story so interesting. It combines elements of slice of life, horror, sci-fi, and mystery to endear you to these kids, keep you on your toes, and utterly blindside you with whatever dark reveal comes next. The characters struggling with the fact that they're not in full control of their own lives, either by the freaky man-eating monsters on the loose, where they live, or whatever is done to them, echoes throughout the season. It did get a little controversial to some because of this, and I can respect their point of view, but I feel that it did a great job conveying that point. It helps that visuals are fantastic. Not afraid to take risks and go full out in either the action or the smallest interaction, with a fitting soundtrack to wrap it up nicely. Big abandoned cities, rural areas, fantastic backdrops that work perfectly for the almost abandoned world these kids stuff through. I love traveling to heaven with them, and I suffered seeing them go through hell. Here's hoping we get more chaos soon. In a time where attention spans seem to be getting shorter and shorter, media in general has to do its best to catch your attention quick to keep you watching. So it's pretty crazy how Frieren not only accomplished that, but how it delivered one of the most endearing character journeys in one single episode, and quickly making it seem like one of the greats. The concept of a time-defying elf trying to change her view of the importance of her fleeting relationships is one of the best fantasy concepts I've heard, and they've nailed it so far. The story starts off with the heroes returning from defeating the Demon King, and then masterfully jumps years and years in these beautiful time skips filled with detail, changing this elf's companions, quests, goals, all while she stays the same. But the show treats us with touching flashbacks showing the journey and how impactful their time together actually was. It aces the idea that even if someone isn't present in this world anymore, their actions and time spent together shape who they are and how the memory of them is still very much alive. And it balances this while staying focused on the new heroes, on where this world is heading, and what Frieren is doing next. I mean, it's just so good. that current number 1 on Mal is there for a reason. It honestly feels like peak fantasy. The super detailed magic concepts, the abundant locations we've gone to, the different races and occupations, the on-point soundtrack, the breathtaking backgrounds and visuals, the fights, everything. And the characters are perfect. Feiren's monotone and kinda dangerous nature clashing with her lazy and goofy side is so lovable. Fern and Stark are a duo I am enjoying a ton of. The original heroes, the villains, and even the minor characters are great. This was heavily in my mind, almost number 1. And it kinda is in my heart, but I'm sure that we haven't seen the peak of this series yet, so I'll leave it at that. But I can't recommend this enough, and I'm so excited to keep seeing this adventure of a lifetime. Before we get to number 1, here are some very honorable mentions. Attack on Titan's final season, but for realsies, wasn't here because it technically was 2 specials. Plus, I wanted to talk about new stuff, but it probably would have cracked the top 10. And yeah, it was really great. It had a lot of epic moments, and as divisive as the ending was, I thought it was okay. Definitely emotional to see this epic series finally end. What a ride. Tomo-chan was a really fun start to the year that barely missed a cut. Great characters and gags. Dangers in My Heart surprised me a lot after I didn't like the beginning. Very cute and wholesome. Kubo-san and Happy Marriage were great as well. Korimiya and Osama Ranking gave us fun side quests to their stories. Lots of unhinged craziness with 100 girlfriends that made me laugh way too much. Barely missing the list from how it kinda overdid it by the end. Also a shout out to Kamikatsu, a dumpster fire I couldn't stop staring at. And Miki and Dali delivered an insane story that had me on my toes. And gave us a very touching memorial to the late manga creator Nami-Sano. Masterful Cat and Yuzuki's family's 4 sons were so heartwarming and remain underappreciated. Dark Gathering was actually scary, Ragnar Crimson is doing fairly well, Ronka Monohashi gave me more crime mystery goodness, Campfire Cooking brought out the vibes, Scott Pilgrim was a great adaptation, and more I'm probably forgetting in such a packed year. As I've been saying, these top 6 shows really made me rack my brain on which would be my favorite, but every single time, Vinland Saga's extraordinary second season always found its way up there. What an amazing journey. Compared to the first season, I know some people weren't as hyped for this one. Heck, I had this conversation with my barber. He preferred the action, violence, and the whole spectacle of the first one, which I like too, not gonna lie. But what this arc gave us, what Farmland Saga gave us, is one of the most exhilarating character redemptions I've seen in anime. Thorfinn being absolutely empty after what happened, becoming a slave, and tending to a farm isn't what we had in mind, but what this unassuming arc had in store for him was insane. The characters we got to really meet all had a very important part. Ketil and his sons, Sverkel, Arnheid, Snake and his cronies, heck, Einar the freaking MVP. Seriously, what an amazing counterpart to Thorfinn. From suffering such a miserable fate to being a part of his wake-up call was awesome. Important scenarios, deep and meaningful conversations, dream sequences, hard work and dedication to the farm, the slave mistreatment, and the drama. These moments that were changing Thorfinn, giving him a reason to move on, making him realize what his dad meant all the way back in season 1. All this incredible character growth in this damn farm. Moments that gave me goosebumps. All backed up by the soundtrack, incredible art, amazing voice acting, great action that we still got, and more. And that's not even mentioning Canute and his role on the other side. It's an epic tale of a man who got ensnared in this world's violence, in this culture of needing to fight and win, just to somehow, some way overcome this guilt, this emptiness, grow above all of it, realizing that he could break the chain, realizing that, really, he has no enemies. And that's a hell of a lesson. One of anime's masterpieces. And we're just getting started. And those were my favorite anime of 2023. Thank you so much for watching. Yes, this one took way longer than expected, but with such a packed year behind us, I really had to give it my all to show how much I loved this year. It was a pretty good year for the channel. I got to upload a little more, we managed to technically double the subscriber count, and I had a lot of fun talking about the stuff I love with you guys. So again, thanks for all your support and for being here. 2024 promises a whole lot of new stuff, and while it's gonna be as busy as ever, be sure that I'll be around here to geek out some more, so please stay tuned. And as always, it's been Jules, I hope you have a great one, and I'll see you all for the next one.